Alright, so my business idea was to create a league for younger adults where they can play a certain amount of games that would count as regular season games. And then once they're done with the regular season, we will reseed the teams and play a tournament bracket. And in the tournament bracket, um, all the teams would make it, but they would be playing for a cash prize. Um, the way that we used the business model, I thought, really helped me set out the steps in order to make this business idea come to better light. Um, I really think that the group calls helped shape the business idea, bouncing ideas off people, and just kind of figuring out what needs to happen. Um, the things on the business model, it made me realize that some of the things that you kind of took for granted, and some of the things that you kind of thought were just implied, that you needed to take care of them and just kind of get them done. The model helped me not just assume things, but go into depth. What I was talking about. So the first thing I needed to solve in the business plan is how to market the event, and I thought the best way to market the event effectively was to find the right group of people to go after and attack the market. So what I did at first was walk around campus and go to the rec and all the places where I thought that athletes would be, and kind of promoted my idea with the word of mouth to them to see what they thought about it. So that's kind of how I started marketing. But then I think that social media is a big market advantage nowadays, because just you can connect with so many people on social media like Twitter, that if you post something, it can really blow up and get a lot more of an impact than you actually wanted to start with. So, but also I went to a lot of different types of people. So maybe the what is it called? The feedback I got wasn't all positive because I went to so many different types of people that just weren't athletes. So the people that I thought would want to wanted to play, but then the people that I kind of knew wouldn't want to play. Some of them want to play, but most of them were exactly like I thought they would be. The next thing I needed to figure out what was the best place to host the event. So I really wanted to look for a safe environment that would be a great venue for fans and players. I have a lot of connections in the basketball world, so finding a gym really wasn't too hard of a challenge. So what I thought was just using the EIU main gym or the rec gyms would be a good idea on weekday nights, and it would have to be, and going on that, we would have to find the time of the year. So I was thinking spring or fall, where basketball isn't in session, and that there's only one team on the main court, such as volleyball. Just so we have time to use the floor and that it's not used by basketball every day. Because during the winter, the basketball court is used every day except for pretty much Sunday. Some things that I thought would maybe kill the idea right away was just that there are a lot of basketball leagues, like adult leagues, summer leagues, that people play in, and they might not just want to play in this league. But then that kind of helped me come up with the idea of the money. I thought that having a cash prize would promote the idea and make the idea better. It would help people want to be in the league, and I think that the league would just benefit a lot from having competitive games. So, the next thing I'm going to talk about is kind of why this was my business idea. So, being a college athlete, you kind of realize that your sports career is kind of coming to an end, and that sooner rather than later, so you won't really be able to play very many competitive games. So that was one of the main reasons I decided to use this as my business idea, was because I think that a league where money is on the line and everyone's playing for the X amount of dollars that they can win, that it'll bring back a competitive atmosphere to basketball, to players that haven't played competitive games in a long time. And I think that because you see frat kids and just regular kids out playing pickup in the gyms, and it's not really a competitive atmosphere. It's a little competitive, but if you put those kids playing ball in line for money, then I think that the games will be, I think it'll bring back a competitive atmosphere, and that everyone will feel like they're playing for something again, not just playing for themselves. They're playing for a team. Alright, so going around campus talking to people about whether they like the idea or not, they said yeah. Most people said yeah. I kind of asked a mixture of younger people and like actual adults. So kind of the consensus that I got was that we should have like two age groups, like a 30 and above age group, so that because adults want to play, but like 30-year-old adults, not all of them are going to be able to compete with 21, 20-year-old high school students, athletically wise. So they thought maybe a 30 and above division, and then a 21 to like, or I guess 21, 28 division, and then like 28 above, or something like that, where there could be two different like divisions for different athletes, like, because a 21-year-old is going to be a lot more athletic than a 30-year-old, and it's just, I think it'll be more fair in that the older people will have more opportunities at the money if they kind of split the age groups together. But the feedback really helped. The idea that I don't know, maybe we can have the older division in the fall and kind of work out the kinks and learn from what we did, just so that when the younger division comes in the spring, it'll be all smoothed out and it'll run a lot more effectively. It's just kind of like a learning experience there. You just have to go through the first wave and figure out what works and what doesn't work. The next thing I'm going to talk about is key partners. The main partner for this league or event is the host gym, just because the gym is the main thing we need. Because without a gym, I mean, I guess we could play on blacktop, which, thinking about it, it might be a cool experience, but the gym is the main part. You need a gym to play, you need a court to play, but yeah, that is, and I think that having a good partner that supports you, so if we find a good gym partner that supports the league and the event, I think that it'll make the event run a lot smoother. if other people support your idea, I think that the idea in your head makes the idea stronger in your head and creates an environment that makes people want to come back. So if you have multiple people backing you, I think that provides an opportunity to make the league jump another level and make the league a greater league. So the next thing we're going to talk about is key activities. The first key activity was booking nights for the gym, which goes into the key partners of having a gym. Booking nights for the gym, I don't think it will be too hard, just because I got a lot of connections in the basketball world, and if one gym falls out, I know I got some gyms back home that we could use. I mean, I know we could find a gym pretty easy. But the thing that I know we need refs, so that was in the key activities that we need to get done. But I was thinking for the refs, I was thinking me and maybe a buddy could ref games, just because I've seen enough. I've played enough basketball games where I could ref some league games. If we couldn't hire refs. Hiring us should be the first thing, but if it came down to it, I mean, I wouldn't mind reffing games. The next thing in line for key activities is just getting the word of mouth out, getting the word out about the league to make something special of it. The main way, like we talked before, I was going to make a Twitter page and just kind of tweet out what was going on, tweet out a lot about the league. I'm gonna follow people, get our name around town. But a great way to get the name around town is by word of mouth, just spreading it. Because I know that if I tell some people and then they tell people and then they tell people, that'll spread a lot easier, and it'll be a lot more. I think a lot of people will trust it more if they hear it from other people than if they just see it on Twitter. Twitter's a good way to get it out, but word of mouth is a way for people to actually do it. So a big thing for me is customer communication. You got to listen to your customers. So, like when I went out and talked to people and listened to their ideas, like people gave me the idea of playing for a cash prize. They didn't, because my idea was just having a 5-on-5 league. But listening to people's ideas, if they have ideas that can help me out, help the league out, help it run more smoothly, and get more people in the league, then I'm off. Like, I know my ideas aren't perfect, so having them come out and just kind of want to better the league is, I take all things into consideration when it comes to that. So I'm all ears. So revenue streams is going to be the next thing we're going to talk about. So there's going to be an entry fee for the teams. I haven't really came up with a specific number, but there would be an entry fee for the leagues, and then what I was trying to do for the prize money was get one or a couple of corporate sponsors just to pony up some money for the prize money, and then we could put their logo on T-shirts, put the logo on like the championship T-shirts, championship hat. But I mean, if going through town, I feel like if I ask a bunch of people if they would be down to provide corporate sponsorship, I think that I could find one or two throughout the whole town. I feel like people support this town, support EIU. If I told them I was an EIU student, EIU basketball player, I think that would help out the league. Then the next thing is value proposition. So what we bring to our customers in the community. I think the value we are bringing to people is the competitive environment of a basketball league. because a lot of these people haven't played competitive basketball in a long time. So I just think, and there's nothing like playing competitive sports. I know some people don't like it, but they say they don't like it, but once it's gone, once competitive sports are gone, it's just like, man, I'm just playing pickup in the rec. So I thought that even people that don't really compete, it kind of gives something for them to look forward to. Like playing a basketball league for money would be, for me, would be incredible. Because I mean, you're pretty much playing pickup, having fun, doing what you do, but you're playing for X amount of dollars with your friends. Like that's, I don't know. To me, that just sounds like a grand old time. And the games will be meaningful. Like some people haven't played a meaningful game since high school. So you look at these people that are playing pickup in the rec gyms, playing for themselves. Now they're playing with their friends. They're playing meaningful basketball. Whereas a couple days ago they were playing pickup to 21 with a bunch of random people. The next thing we're going to talk about is customer relationship. So what I want to do is just provide a fair league. I don't want to cheat anyone over. I don't want anyone to think we're cheating them over. I want everyone to be happy. I want to make sure the league flows smoothly. I just want to make sure everyone has a good experience with the first year of the league. The next thing we're going to talk about is customer segments. We're trying to create value for any male or female person, group of persons who enjoy the game of basketball and want to live a healthy lifestyle. The customers are the most important people to me because the different types of customers that we can reach out to and provide this service to, the better we are reaching out to different types of groups, and that I think they would appreciate this business. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is key resources. So of course the gym is a key resource because you have to have the gym to play. And then the next thing that's a key resource is kind of the networking market. Because in basketball you kind of meet a lot of people, and a lot of people know you. So just having that network of people can really help you out just by asking people for things or help or ideas. It's good to know a lot of people. Alright, so the last thing we're going to talk about is channels. I plan on attacking the social media channel just because everyone is on social media, literally everyone. So I think that'll be a good way for us to get the product out. But like I said earlier, I think word of mouth will be bigger than people think, just because you can spread the word very fast, very effectively that way. The last thing that I'm going to talk about is just the game of basketball a little bit. The game of basketball is the ultimate team game. You need everyone on the court to compete together in order for your team to win. This is one of the most important things that people miss when they leave sports. It's kind of the team aspect. So like when you retire, when you're done with athletics, you kind of miss being a part of that family. Like you have family at home, but then like your team is kind of like your family, whether you like it or not. Your team is your family. Like you're with them every day for about 6-7 months out of the year. There's not really anything around it. Like the coaches, the players, they kind of become family like a way that you wouldn't expect. And I think that this league will kind of bring that back to people. because retired people, older adults, people that just got done playing sports, they all want that feeling back of a team feeling. Because I mean, there is in the workplace kind of a team feeling, but it's just not the same as athletic wise. It's just a whole different animal. So I think that this league will bring people together and hopefully be successful in providing meaningful basketball games and meaningful competitiveness to people that don't really have it in their lives. So thank you.